What's up, everybody? This is going to be part 3 of my cheap eBay vaporizer review. I went and got myself a this is an infrared thermometer. It shoots a laser beam, and whatever that laser beam is touching, it will register the heat for whatever it's touching. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my little scientific notes set up here. I'm going to turn my vaporizer to the set temperature, starting at 100 and working my way to 400 before dropping back off to 150. And in between each temperature, I'm going to allow 10 to 15 minutes for the temperature change to actually take place. So I'll set my vaporizer at 100 degrees to start with. And I'm going to point my little laser pointer. This actually was just being smoked on, so I'm waiting for it to cool down so I can actually start this. But what I'm going to do is point my little laser beam right down its little nozzle there and read what the temperature actually is. So I don't know if I'll be able to get this on camera. I hope I can. It looks like it's working right now. But I'm just going to point the laser beam right down the nozzle as best as I can. I'm going to hold it there for a second, and I'm going to take the highest reading that I get from that, and I'm going to write it down, wait 10 minutes, do it for the next temperature, wait 10 minutes, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to wait a couple hours with it totally shut off, and I'm going to start it back up, and I'm going to do the same thing twice, just so that I can compare and take an average and see how accurate it really is. So I'm going to finish waiting for this to cool down, and then we'll start taking these temperatures. I'll hit it with the laser beam when I'll turn it back on here after it's really cool, and wait 10 minutes, and then I'll take a temperature, and then we'll jack it up 100 degrees, wait 10 minutes, take a temperature. So then I'll just go into the video editing mode and string all these together and make the review. So yep, that's it. Okay, so it's been fired up for a good couple minutes now. We're gonna take some readings here. I'm gonna look for the highest and the lowest temperatures here. I'm gonna mark them both down. We're at 90, 93, 97. I think the highest I saw there was 97. Okay, so at 100 it's actually 90 to 97 range, right around there on the end. Mind you, this isn't actually sucking any hot air through. This is just the actual temperature of the nozzle itself at the end here. 90 to 97 I saw. Okay. Okay, it's time for 200's temperature. I'm reading 208, 212, 225, I think, 165, 150, 140, 130-ish in there in places. I think it's because it's going through the screen here. Right there on the edge on the glass it's reading 280, 290. Pretty warm. Right down that little screen there it's 150, 160-ish, I think, 70. Let's see here. 240, 278. So about 150 to 278 for the 200. 300. Been sitting here for about 10 minutes now. Let's see, 260s, 180s. Wonder why it's so low right there in the center of the screen. Gotta kind of hit the edge of the glass to find out the actual temperature, it seems like. Right around 300 there. 314, 320. 340 I think I saw there. right into that screen, it just drops off. You kind of got to look at the edge of the glass, I guess. So plus when you draw a little air through this, that's going to cool it off ever so slightly, I guess. But looking at about 340, I'm going to mark it at 350 to the center of the screen there is looking at like the 190s. Okay. Okay, it's 350's time. I found out that if you shine the laser here in the very center, the temperature is significantly lower than it is on the edge. And also on this thing, the bottom number here, as long as I hold this trigger, it'll hold whatever the highest temperature I hit was. So right now it's at 387, 390. It's supposed to be at 350. So 390 is the high temperature. It's kind of nice to know. 390 it's looking like. So seems a couple degrees above what it should be. Yep, 390. And yet another 10 minutes. Let's see what we got going on here. 436 I saw there. 460 or 360. 410, 49, 420. Woo! We're in the 4s here, right around that edge. In that center, it's in the 200 range on that screen. When you put it on the screen there, we're in the 200 range, and right there on the edge, we're in the 400 range. A little lower over there. 418, 423. Hey, it's holding up. 420. Okay, so there's 400. Okay, so now I let it sit for a while and dropped it back down to 150 and get the last reading here. 178 is the high reading so far. 178. I see any more. Dropped down to about 102. I saw there in the center. 178. It's kind of nice, this little max one here on the back. It really lets you know where the hottest, what the hottest temperature actually was. So when I fill up lane number 2, or the second time I do this here, probably either later tonight or tomorrow morning, I will just be taking just that max number. We're at 187 here, so 187. So to review, so far at 100 the max temp was 97. At 200 it was 280. Got up to 280 there at the 200. At 300 it was actually at about 350. 400 we maxed out at 420 and dropped it back down again to 150, and it was 187. So it does get hotter and it does get cooler, but it's not quite right on. I'm going to fill up the second lane of this, like I say, either later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to shut it off and turn it back on and give it one more go, and I'm just going to be taking the high temperatures off of the max number down there on this. It holds whatever the max was, so I'll just be taking that number the second time around. Do this one more time. So there it is. A little off, but it does gradually gain and it does drop back off again apparently, and it's pretty close to where it should be.